Scott, you and I got to check out a preview event for Blade and Soul Neo. This is by NC America, where there was two members of the team there, Andrew Long, who is the senior producer, and then Andrew Gant, who is the community manager, to give us a lowdown of what's going on here with Blade and Soul Neo, coming off of Blade and Soul Live over in Korea, which then recently got updated to Blade and Soul Neo, which will be the Korean version, has now been out for about 4 months. We're now going to look into February 25th to get into the North American version. Sat down there, we saw a presentation for about half an hour, and then there was a live Q&A session. You made some notes, I made some notes. Scott, what do you got? What's the lowdown? Give it to us.
Well, you had a very good, solid first question in that Q&A. I just want to point that out. And you asked, will the years of DLC content be there at launch for players? And I think that's a pretty important thing if you're going to take that step into a whole new world. And we got the answer, quote, everything that you know in Blade and Soul Live will not be there at launch. We will have the experience from the initial year that will be available, not at launch, but more info on the content schedule will be available soon. And then the other Andrew added to that, i.e. many months of content updates throughout the year. But it's, as so far, not quite scheduled. That schedule is not available yet for everybody, but he did want to iterate, Blade and Soul Neo is a free-to-play MMORPG. You do not need to engage with the monetization at all to get through the game. Again, this is important for myself, being a newcomer to this world. There will be a battle pass, and this is largely going to be for quality of life improvements and aid for the end of the game. Although, again, we're told we do not need to follow that monetization to get through the end. However, these new items, or these available items in the Battle Pass, are going to be potions, temporary buffs, and things like that. There's no cosmetics planned right at the moment, but that may change. The plans are a little bit up in the air, it seems, but there is an unconfirmed price right now. So there will be a free track to the Battle Pass. There will also be a premium track. And these are both going to progress with campaign progress. Maybe some quests they add on there just for some flavor, and game time spent in the game. So that gives you a lot of different a direction of sorts to go. There was also a question about the item shop. So when it comes to getting cosmetics, that will be your option. Cosmetics and consumable, but no player power items. So it's not going to be a pay-to-win situation. They were asked the treasure trove system. It will not be present in Neo, so there's going to be a different weapon upgrade system. All of the secondary stats are going to be randomized, so you're going to want to find the weapon you like, and then you can take it through an upgrade, but it's not going to be the traditional 0 to 20 kind of upgrade. So it's a little bit more nuanced. You're going to have to look into that, but it seems like it's pretty easy to understand. There was some questions about PvP. And specifically with regard to hardware, because some of the things we saw in this game are quite pushing for graphical power. The graphic effects can be toggled off or turned down in some situations, and this is supposed to improve the reaction speed, specifically with lesser hardware, so you can be still competitive in the PvP arena. We lastly had a question about the subscription service. There will be no paid subscription at this time, so it's not exactly like WoW. Their reasoning for that was that they want everybody to get in the door, they want to get as many people on the service as possible, and then worry about how much you're enjoying and how much they want to monetize the game after that. So getting people into the game is going to be the big push for them, and this is interesting because it's coming to the Purple platform, something I'm not familiar with on PC. They were asked about, well, what about other platforms, why not Steam? It appears that Steam will be in the future, or at least they're looking to move it to Steam in the future, and other platforms as well. I'm not sure exactly what that means, if that's other PC storefronts, or if that is indeed a console launch. We did not have any sort of confirmation on that whatsoever at this time, but they did mention at that moment they're going to have to look into cross-save and cross-progression, and that will be necessary going forward.
It was an interesting presentation, right? Right off the hop, this is not mine or yourselves preferred genre to play. We're not accustomed to playing in this, but we want to check it out because we thought, it kind of caught our eye. It looked pretty cool. Is this something new that could pull us in? Time will tell on the 25th. I think I'll dive in, check it out. We'll see if it sticks, because an MMO, Scott, takes a ton of time. Dude, you're in there to grind out with a guild, right? And you can build all that up. You can get into the PvP side, which I thought was really cool because there is a new game mode they're adding to the game where you're fighting for this chest, and it's more of like a last man standing. Gets all the bonuses and benefits from looting that chest. Pretty cool. A huge emphasis on teamwork was put in when it comes to PvE and PvP. You can then knock up enemies and have somebody else combo that by pulling them back down and then continuing on into other combos. The purple platform is a problem, straight up. It should have been on Steam. I'm calling it right now. They're missing out on one of the biggest markets that could benefit Blade and Soul Neo. That's the downfall I see moving forward with this. Scott, would you agree, disagree? Where you at?
No, I absolutely agree with that. I'm a real head scratcher there. I would have expected to see it on Steam, and I have to believe that we will see it eventually, because like you say, that's where the greatest pool of players is on PC. That's just the reality of it.
Absolutely. Overall, it's not that far away. February is a loaded month to start with. Oh, can Blade and Soul Neo really pop at the end of the month, or is it going to be overshadowed by everything else? Will be time telling. If you're looking for an MMORPG, it's definitely one to take a look at.